I grew up believing home was the one place nobody could take from you, until that night in a backwater town called Pine Hollow, when a sheriff's deputy came crashing through my door over a strange smell. His name wasn't Jared Claiborne anymore, not in my story. It was Dean Harlan. Big white guy, mid-40s, always smirking like the world owed him a favor. And me. I'm Lena Briggs, black woman and 32 Navy veteran, trying to heal in the woods with my dog Ranger. That night became the longest night of my life, the kind you can only tell after the smoke clears. It started at sunset. The light was red and sticky, clinging to the pine trees like old blood. Ranger was growling low by the door. Harlan stood on my porch badge, flashing knuckles pale around his belt. "Something's rotting in there, Briggs," he called, voice like sandpaper on steel. "You keeping dead critters, or just letting your place fester?" His eyes slithered over me, same way they had at the town picnic years back when I reported him, and nothing happened. I kept my voice flat. "You got no warrant, deputy. Step off my porch." He grinned, gold tooth catching the last light. "Warrant enough, girl. Folks around here smell something foul. I check it out." Ranger pressed closer, hackles up. "You want to leave now?" I said quietly, because hate's not probable cause. But he pushed past me, muttering, "Always did like Navy girls who forgot their place." Next thing I knew, the door frame splintered, and my world turned inside out. Shotgun blast, Ranger's yelp pain ringing in my ears. He slammed me against the floor, zip ties cutting into my wrists. "Got you now," he spat, breath hot with whiskey. "Nobody's coming out here. Nobody cares." His slap rattled my teeth, spit dripping from his mouth onto my cheek. I tasted copper and humiliation, but underneath it, something colder training. You don't spend 10 years in combat without learning patience. You watch, you wait, and when your moment comes, you move. Ranger moved first. Even bleeding, he lunged at Harlan's calf teeth sinking deep. The deputy howled, stumbled. I rolled, found the knife taped under the table months ago for a night just like this. Sliced zip tie snapped. Blood flooded back into my hands. "Enough," I hissed, coming up fast. He tried to swing the shotgun, but I drove my knee into his ribs, forced him flat knife at his throat. "This is the last time you put your hands on me," I whispered, steady, not shouting. He froze, pulse jumping under the blade. When I searched his pockets, what spilled out wasn't just bullets. It was a little glass vial marked experimental, the kind of hallucinogen the Army tested overseas perfect to frame a veteran as crazy. And then his body cam. Red light blinking. I hit play. Grainy footage of a local mechanic bound to a chair, face swollen, begging, "Please, I didn't do nothing." Then Harlan stepping into frame with a baton. My hands trembled, but my eyes stayed dry. This wasn't a rogue cop. This was a system with a face. By the time the first set of headlights cut through the trees, I had him cuffed to my chair. Two younger deputies splashed through the mud, shouting for me to come out. They thought they were walking into a routine arrest. They didn't see the tripwires. The blast threw one into a tree, the other screaming over his friend's leg. I stepped into the doorway, pistol steady rain running down my face. "Step 1 foot closer," I called, "and it's an attack on my life. You like twisting the law. Consider it twisted back." Their flashlights trembled. Inside, Harlan groaned behind his gag. Even beaten, he still thought the badge would save him. That night, I dug my own proof. Ranger led me to a patch of loose earth behind the cabin. My hands clawed through the mud until I touched cloth, then cold flesh. Reverend Cole, missing 2 months, still cuffed. I pressed my palm to my mouth, rage and grief knotted together. "They buried you like weeds," I whispered to the corpse, "but you're coming up now." I walked back to the cabin, soaked eyes burning. This wasn't just about me anymore. I tried uploading the files to reporters, to lawyers, anyone. The signal flickered, then a blast in the distance, the relay tower. They'd cut me off. That's when I saw the flicker from the ridge. 3 short, 3 long, 3 short. SOS. And out of the mist came Maya Green, a journalist who'd been chasing the same ghosts. She held up a military sat link. "Give me your files," she said, voice low, but urgent. "We'll punch straight to DC." For a second, I thought I might break. Instead, I handed her everything: body cam confession photos. "If I fall, this doesn't," I told her. She nodded. "You're not falling. Not tonight." We streamed it live. Harlan's sobbing confession, the mechanics beating the Reverend's grave. Across the country, people woke up to a nightmare with a zip code. But back at the cabin, the woods filled with masked men. Tear gas hissed through broken windows. This wasn't a raid. It was an erasure. I dragged a wet cloth over Ranger's muzzle, pulled a bandana across my own face. Harlan started screaming to his own men, "I'm in here, get me out," and they answered cold, "You're already gone." I almost smiled under the bandana. "Hear that, Dean? Even your own pack won't come back for carrion." We slipped out the back under gunfire through mud and roots into the tree line. The sky was bruised purple, the cabin behind us burning like a pyre. We met Carter on the ridge, Shane Carter, the man who once called me monkey in the barracks. Mask off, rifle raised. "Didn't think you'd make it this far," he sneered. "Guess I should have finished you back in Coronado." I leveled my weapon. Looks like we both get another chance. But before he could tighten the trigger, Maya angled the uplink. "Let the world hear you," she whispered. Under that lens, Carter spilled it all. How he'd fed names of black soldiers to local militias, how the county buried them in shallow pits. His words streamed live. By dawn, Pine Hollow Massacre was trending nationwide. But the state flipped the script faster than a switch. They branded me a terrorist, authorized shoot to kill. SWAT trucks closed in on an old warehouse where we'd holed up. I wired the floor like a Christmas tree, frying the first ones through, then dropped into a tunnel with Maya and Ranger limping behind me. In the woods, we reconnected the uplink, this time straight to the Department of Justice. We sent every byte to Washington itself. My hands were shaking, but my voice was steady. "Do it," I told Maya. "If they kill us, at least the feds have it." The uplink blinked green. Transmission complete. We met the DOJ in a ruined church at the edge of town. Special Agent Terrell Wade, dark suit eyes, tired but sharp. "I've been chasing Pine Hollow for 20 years, he said. "You just handed me the case." Behind him sat Harlan, still cuffed, still snarling but cracked. Wade hit record. Names poured out: sheriff, mayor, councilman, burial sites. Maya filmed silent tears on her cheeks. For once, evidence outweighed whispers. At dawn, federal helicopters hovered over the pine woods. Floodlights carved open the ground where they'd buried their secrets. One by one, bodies came up: choir robes, work boots, wedding rings, still on skeletal fingers. Families pressed against barricades, calling out names, some collapsing when they recognized a locket or a scar. Ranger pressed against my leg, whining softly. Maya kept her camera steady, capturing every flag in the soil. Wade's voice cracked as he dictated 37 confirmed so far. Systemic homicide under local authority. And still, even as national anchors said, "This is Alabama," the governor's office called me a fugitive. No ticker at the bottom of the screen can erase that. I watched the mayor of Pine Hollow on TV promising justice with his lawyer's smile, and I knew he was signing my death warrant with his other hand. Maya asked me, "What do we do now?" "They've branded you the enemy." I brushed Ranger's fur eyes still on the screen. "We don't hide. We keep the camera rolling until their mask tears off completely." I tell you this, not because I'm looking for applause, but because people still think it can't happen here. They think the badge means law, not power. But power has its own smell, and once you've smelled it, you can never unsmell it. That night, I was just a woman trying to mind my business in a cabin. By morning, I was dragging a town's ghosts into the light. I don't know yet if it will cost me my life, but I do know silence costs more. So here's my ask. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think I went too far or not far enough? Have you seen power abused and everyone look away? Tell me your stories. Tell me your towns, because this isn't just Pine Hollow. It's any place people get buried without a name. And the only way to stop it is to drag it into the daylight together.